Whoa, what are we doing? Nope, this way. Woohoo! All right. Okay, it's gonna hold. Okay. All right, here we go. Try to get my phone situated. I think we've got it. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Monday night mini medicine card reading. And awesome, we've already got people popping up saying yes. So we've got Deb, Sage, and Valerie. Woohoo! All right. And if you are new here, it's been kind of slow the last few weeks, so maybe that's all we're gonna get. I don't know, but if you are new here, I am Patrick, your friendly neighborhood shaman, and we are gonna pull some medicine cards. So, all you have to do if you wish to participate is say yes in the comments, and the first 6 people who say yes will get a 1-card reading. And if we happen to get a whole horde of people after this and there's more than 6 people, then oh, awesome, Nancy. Yes, absolutely. All right. So, we'll see what happens. But if you come in later and there is more than 6 people already, don't worry. All you need to do is choose a number between 1 and 6, or as it may happen tonight, between 1 and 3, and listen to the message of that. If you are watching this in repeat, no worries, same thing, just choose a number between however many cards we end up pulling, and just listen to the message of that card. And even though it may have been pointed at someone else, Spirit just has this wonderful, magical way of interweaving whatever message that you need into that reading. And talk about magical, I just looked down on my table. I don't know if this is going to show up, but I'm not sure where that one came from. It was just laying on my table, so magic. Yeah? All right, so anything else I have to say? Oh, and of course this video is totally free, but I do ask that you please share the video. Help get my voice out there, help get more people, help me help more people, I guess is the way to put it. If you enjoy my work, if I have helped in some way or fashion, then please refer people to me. If you've had readings or classes with me or healings, refer people to me, invite people on to this video. You can tag people in the comments or whatever, but please share. That helps me help others, and it's a mutual benefit, a win-win all the way around. So thank you. All right, so let's just get started. And so Sage, you are first. Saying I need to shuffle just a little bit more. All right, Sage. Yes, you were. You were really quick on the draw. Quick draw McGraw. And Sage, so card number 1, Sage, you got Wolf. Wolf, I don't remember what you got last time, but it seemed, but I definitely feel, oh, yeah. Something has shifted. And oh, it was reversed, right? I think. But anyway, Wolf is, how do I put it? It's funny because I haven't read the book that goes with these cards literally for years. And so I don't even remember what the book says about any of these because I connect to the spirit of the animals and they tell me directly what the messages are. So, but with Wolf, like all canines, Wolf is a guardian, right? And Wolf is like the guardian of the wild, right? You think like women who run with the wolves, right? Wolf is at the same time primal, wild, and yet they have structure. They have a culture, right? They have a society. They have rules and communication. And so it's that. Oh, awesome! It's your medicine animal of the north. And so it's that combination of structure and wildness, right? And it's really it's the lesson of the apex predator, right? And what do I mean by that? It's like well, there's that whole thing about when Wolf was introduced to Yellowstone, reintroduced to Yellowstone, right? The entire park, every species of wildlife in the park recovered. Like, the park wasn't in the best state, like the herd animals, the deer, the elk, the bison, moose, they were all kind of, because there was no predator, they were just kind of grazing anywhere, and there were areas were getting overgrazed, trees and foliage was being overeaten. They would go down, they would cross the rivers, just any place. So the park was losing wildlife in the plants, the greenery. Because of that, the rivers had less shade for the fish, and the herd animals were literally stomping down the banks of the rivers, so that the rivers were losing their integrity. There were health issues where there were diseases running rampant through the different herds because there was no predator, right? And we tend to demonize the predators, right? It's like we watch the wildlife shows, and whenever a predator is chasing down a prey animal, we're like, we've got our fingers crossed, we're praying for that little prey animal to get away, right? But the thing is, it's the circle of life. And it was just the presence of the wolf in Yellowstone, the presence of the predator, that caused the herds to keep to certain paths, keep to certain grazing areas, keep to a certain schedule. And because the wolves would take out the sickest, the weakest, the slowest of the herd animals, they actually helped increase the health and integrity of all the herds. And because the herds would try to avoid the wolves, they changed their schedule, they changed their routes so that even the banks of the river were able to recover. The foliage around the rivers were able to recover, making it easier for the fish to spawn because they had the necessary shade in the water. And so it really comes down to, if you think about each of us, or like our souls, our energy, we tend to be like that. Like Yellowstone before the wolves, right? We don't have clear boundaries. We allow others in that shouldn't be allowed in. We think that, we have, expectations, responsibilities, obligations. We end up trampling over our own boundaries, and all it does is makes us sicker, right? All it does is adds to our own toxicity. And wolf comes along and brings that, you can call it discipline, you can call it, the integrity. Yes, Emerald, we have room for you. And I noticed there's a few more people. We have 2 more spots left. If anybody wants a 1-card reading, all you need to do is say yes in the comments. So getting back to Sage, it's that ability and willingness to draw lines, to set territories. To say, you can live here, you can't live here. Like, this is my domain, my world. My energy field is me. This is my domain. And I just went into Tarzan. It's the old Tarzan cartoon from Saturday mornings with that. This is my domain, and I protect those who come here, for I am Tarzan, Lord of the Jungle. But it's the same thing. It's like with the presence of the predator. It brings order to chaos. It brings that just enough structure to bring harmony, right? And it's like that. It's like that one meme that was going around, like, compassion without boundaries is self-destruction. And so you can only give so much of yourself before you're done, right? So what I'm getting at, Sage, the short answer after all of that is that you are claiming more of your own territory. You are claiming more of your own sovereignty. You are making a solid decision on who gets to live in your world and who is not allowed in your world, and how they affect your world. You have the final say, right? And the one thing that I love about Wolf, right? Wolf, as all canines, tend to be seen as the masculine, right? They're kind of the divine masculine, whereas like felines, by contrast, tend to be seen as the feminine. So you've got the divine masculine here, which is the masculine is the physical manifestation of things. Like even in pagan myths and stuff with the goddess and the god, the lord and the lady, the Lord is the physical manifestation of the love of the mother, and he is the dancer, right? He's what's that? There's that one song about dum 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 dum. Lord of the dance. He is Lord of the dance. It's like the goddess, the feminine is the stage, and the masculine is the dancer on the stage. Right? So like physical reality, manifest reality. But the divine masculine gets his direction and his inspiration from Grandmother Moon, the divine feminine. So this is divine action. This is inspired action. This is balance, right? This is alignment, so that every action you take in the physical world is inspired by the deeper feminine, divine feminine. It's coming from the heart. It's coming from connection. It's coming from the whole, right? And so, and by doing this, Wolf is also known as the teacher, because the pack always has, the lone wolves, right? We think of people as lone wolves, but there's really no such thing, because unless a wolf is sick or has been exiled or banished from the pack, there's no such thing. And if there were a lone wolf, it would be a rogue wolf. There would be probably something wrong with it. It would be sick mentally or physically, something that made him need to separate, or need the pack to separate themselves from him, right? The true lone wolf are the scouts that go out ahead of the pack to get the lay of the land, to scout out, to trailblaze what the topography of the land is, the topography of the future, to go where others are afraid to go to, that where others haven't gone yet, to see what's there, to have the courage to step forward into the unknown and bring back to the rest of the pack, this is awesome. You'll never believe what's up ahead, what's in store for us. I've been there. You don't have to be afraid. I know exactly the right path to go, right? And so to guide and lead those others forward without fear, right? And that's like those of us who find ourselves in the role of teacher, of elder, of healer, whatever it is, right? We've been the ones who have had to break down the doors, to blaze the trails through the wilderness. And now when you see the people coming of age now, the things that we did on that, the trails that we blazed, the doors that we banged down, those who are coming of age now to be the legacy of those who went before, this stuff is just second nature to them, because we were the ones who went where no one else would go and brought that into the collective unconscious, where it is now being picked up. And those that are coming of age now are going to go so much further than we ever could dream of, because they have whatever we experienced already in their medicine bag, if you want to say it that way. Does that make sense? I'm just getting chills. And I know I struggle with that sometimes, because it seems like done all this work and all this, and it's not about getting my due or getting, credit or anything, but sometimes like, have I really done anything? Like, it's like I went from here to here, and all these new people are like starting out here. They're coming from here to here, right? They're starting out where I left off. It's like, did I even have to do all that work? Am I stupid for having to go through all those long paces? when other people, and it's like, yes, we've done that work to clear the path so that others can go further than we did, right? Like, there's a movie on Netflix called The Adam Project with Ryan Reynolds and Mark Ruffalo and Jennifer Garner. I always kind of think of that movie as the sequel to 13 Going on 30, because Jennifer Garner and Mark Ruffalo are married in this one too. But Mark Ruffalo is a physicist, and it shows one of his talks with his students, and he was like how when you start a career in something like physics or the spiritual realm, right? You're not there to solve the problems. You're there to keep the equations going so that someone who you will never ever even know will be able to pick up the baton and solve the problem somewhere down the line. That we are a part of the process, not the end game, right? And that's the same way with metaphysical, with spiritual, with being light workers, healers, etc. That and it makes me think of traditions, right? Like our ancestors created these traditions, and people get so dogmatic about fulfilling the traditions that they forget the point of the traditions. And no one's ancestors, your grandma and grandpa, would want you to go further than they ever did. They have dreams for you. You are the fulfillment of the dreams of your ancestors. They wouldn't want you to stick to the old rules that they were bound by. They want you to go new places, to experience new things. And so if the traditions aren't serving you, you have to change or evolve those traditions to be pertinent to who those traditions are meant to serve. Because I know I don't have children, but if I did, I mean, I want the children of the future to have it easier than I do. Not necessarily easier in, like, not, how do I put it? Easier as in more enlightened, more awakened, more open, having more available to them in that manner of being able to, create a better world, right? Where love and respect are the laws of the land, where diversity is seen as the glorious harmony and nurturing principle that it is, that, and we're still fighting, obviously, with what's been going on in politics just the last couple of days. And so we're still on the front lines fighting our way through to get to that world so that others don't have to, just like women's, like feminism and suffrage and all that. It's like they bang down the walls, and unfortunately we're having to fight some of those same battles, but we are trying to open up and bring more light to this world so that others don't have to, so that our light, rather than people having to do the same things, come through the same traditions, saying the same chants, doing the same rituals, etc., so that they don't need those things because they are so aware of what and who they are already, and bring that light to the world automatically without having to work for it, because it's just a knowingness of who we are. And I mean, think about Star Trek. I'm always thinking about Star Trek, but this world, this vision of a world that Gene Roddenberry created, where there are no wars, there are no crimes, there still are, but not. They're the exception to the rule. There's a world where everyone respects each other, where everyone is nurtured to their own given talents and passions, and by doing that, everything that needs to be done is done without need of some people being worth more than others, or there being value, there being money, etc. And by doing that, we're able to come together in a world working together, which is what allows them to travel in space, right? So there's no more competition. It's not competition, it's cooperation. And I apologize for getting on my high horse and turning this into some long, loquacious lecture, but that's where we are, right? And you are a part of that. And every step toward that authenticity, every courageous step that you take into the unknown, bringing light to the darkness, to light up what before was shunned or avoided, is going one step closer to manifesting that world that we dream of, right? So, good job. Whew. I don't know what got into me. The funny thing is, I just woke up from a nap too. I was gonna say a conscious nap. Most naps aren't conscious, but oh, what did you say? Exactly. What we know is not. We can't take for granted that everyone knows it. So we have to hold that line. We have to, no matter what the world says to us, we have to be that spiritual warrior. We have to bring that light of the divine feminine into the physical divine masculine of the world. And that is what a spiritual warrior does. They don't fight evil. They don't fight the bad. They hold the space and hold the light so that it may be expanded by those who come after us. We hold the truth. We stand our ground of truth, of love, of light. That is what you are doing, and your role is so important. So thank you for rising to the occasion, rising to the challenges. Because, like I said, every step, one small step for human, how will I put that? Because I don't want it to be the sexist one. One small step for you, one great step for humanity. We'll put it that way. So every step you take into the unknown, into healing yourself, you are healing the entire world. And not just the entire world right now, but all the lines of ancestors behind us and all the lines of descendants before us. Huzzah! All right, so card number 2. Wow. Nothing like spending a whole half hour on one card, right? I mean, I could probably do readings where I just pull one card and speak for hours on one card. All right, so card number 2 for Valerie. Kira's here helping me. I'm trying to be careful not to shuffle her tail into the deck of cards. All right. Card number 2 for Valerie. Valerie, you got the prairie dog in reverse. What I just got from my guides, like prairie dog in reverse, can be likened to like Chicken Little, running around like Chicken Little with the acorn falling on their head and thinking the sky is falling and being hyper vigilant, hypersensitive, that every little thing is a sign of the end of the world, catastrophic. So with prairie dog in reverse, it's like to try to pull yourself back, to stand down. Everything is exactly as it needs to be. You are still, despite what it may look or feel like, the universe has you in her loving arms, is holding you close, holding you safe, watching over you. So rather than fighting that love, it's like it's like when you have you're trying to give medicine to a cat, okay? And I'm sure when I just saying those words, you're gonna get exactly what I mean. But like depending on the cat, they're going to fight you tooth and nail. What you're trying to do is help them, is healing for them, is nurturing for them. But they don't like being bound or held, right? And so sometimes you actually have to get the towel and make a little kitty burrito in order to give them their medicine, right? And it's kind of like, that's what the universe is doing for you right now. Everything that is happening right now, though it may hurt, though it may be scary, though things may be seeming to fall apart, the universe is doing everything it can to hold you safe, to calm you down, to, keep you calm and centered, to reassure you that it really does support you. It's holding you in that kitty burrito. Try like the what do they call that? Like the thunder jackets, like that you can. Is that what they call it? Like you can get those jackets for dogs that reassures them, or like the weighted blankets that just kind of help you feel more centered, that help you feel like you are held, right? You are being taken care of. You are safe. You can stand down. And prairie dog is about retreat. Retreating literally into the dark. And the dark itself can be scary, but actually being in the dark is where it is safe, because you're not out on the surface. You're not out on the, ground level where if you're not trusting, how do I put this? So because of the system that prairie dogs have in their society, they have the sentinel whose job it is to watch for predators. If you don't trust It's like in reverse. It's like a prairie dog who doesn't trust the sentinel. It's like, but what if they're blind? What if they're looking the wrong way? What if they don't hear that subtle little, shuffling in the brush that says that coyote's nearby? It's kind of like doing that. It's like finding threats where there are none, and because you don't trust the guidance, you don't trust those who are in charge of you to keep you safe, you're probably going to end okay, I don't want to say it that way. You may end up in harm's way or calling to you your fears because you're not trusting the system that's in place to keep you safe. Does that make sense? And so instead of listening to your intuition that is there to alert you to threats, instead of listening to your guidance, and instead of tuning into your guides, to your ancestors, etc., and trusting what you are told, trusting the messages coming to you, you can feel vulnerable, exposed, hyper-vigilant, because every little sound could be a threat. And it's time to stand down. Yes, the dark can be scary. That inner, it's about going within, where you have no more need to fear because you're not exposed where predators can actually get to. You're down in the earth. You are safe. Again, the womb of the earth, where when you're in the womb, you're safer than any other time in your life. And right now, you are in the womb. The earth is holding you. The cosmic mother is holding you in her womb. You are in that safe space, right? And like with prairie dogs, they always have separate rooms for the individual prairie dogs to go and be by themselves, to get the feel of who they are, to remember who they are without the influence of anyone else's energy. So right now you're in this place, it may be dark, but you're the only one there. You and Goddess, you and Divinity are the only one there. And so it's your choice whether to fill that darkness, that is the darkness of full potential, that darkness that holds every possible future and reality. It's like it's dark because it's great mystery. It's the unknown. It's the unmanifested. So it's like, what am I going to people this space with? Am I going to people this space with threats and enemies and those who are out to get me? Or am I going to fill the space with love and trust and courage to know that the universe has your back and the universe is supporting you every step of the way? And so surrendering into that and realizing that when you're in the dark, when there's no clear path forward, it is time to rest. It is time to dream. It is time to set intentions and to use your imagination, to play in your imagination with the possibilities of what is possible, rather than, oh my God, I hope this doesn't happen, right? Or like focusing on the things you don't want to happen, right? The thing is, worst case scenario, you manifest your fears, and the worst thing possible happens, and then you come through the other side to realize there was no need to be afraid of it in the first place, right? Like Owl, like the story of, not Owl, of Rabbit, right? Who sees Eagle flying over and is so freaked out that he starts yelling, "Eagle, don't come and eat me. I'm really afraid of you. Stay where you are. Don't come down." And the eagle, not hearing him, the rabbit jumps up on a log, starts hopping up and down, waving his little paws in the air, saying, "Eagle, don't come eat me. I'm really afraid. Stay where you are." Of course, the second time, the eagle hears the rabbit and comes down and eats rabbit. But that's only half the story, because in calling his fears to him, rabbit experiences the unspeakable, is eaten by eagle, but then rabbit's consciousness starts to become one with eagle's consciousness. And all of a sudden, rabbit, did I say rabbit before? Owl keeps popping in for some reason. Rabbit is able to see through the eyes of eagle, and he sees the world laid out beneath him, and he sees how there is no competition, how everything really does move together, how everything is one, and that there is really nothing to be afraid of, right? And so come the next spring, this rabbit is born back into the warren, and he may not be conscious of those memories, but because he lived that life and was eaten by eagle, had his worst fears realized, he comes into the next life with the unconscious memory that he survived his worst fears, so that he can walk a little more courageous. He can walk with a little more strength and centeredness, because he's lived through the worst, and there's nothing that can happen that can truly obliterate him, right? So embrace the darkness. Be proactive rather than reactive, rather than letting your mind take over and fill that darkness, that void, with things to be afraid of and to react to. Be proactive and say, okay, I have this opportunity. I have all this space. What do I want to do with my life? Who do I want to be? What am I going to fill my world with, right? And then dream and imagine and create and trust. You have been on this path for a long time. You can trust your guidance, right? It's like it's time. It's kind of like this is exam day. This is the time to apply. That's the word I'm looking. It's time to apply everything you've learned, everything you believe. Like someone told me recently, it's like this is time to lean into your faith, to trust that everything you have ever been through, everything you have ever known, is you have learned for a reason, and this is what you've been training for. This is like the demonstration of everything you've learned so far, of who you have become so far, and bringing it into the light of day and claiming that sovereignty, claiming that queenship of your own world, kind of like I was talking with Sage about earlier, right? Maybe they should have a prairie wolf than just a prairie dog. But in short, the universe is a friendly universe. You can trust it. The universe truly has your highest interest at heart and will do everything it can to bring you home. So you can stand down. You don't have to be on the forefront trying to figure out what you need to do to survive. Survival is guaranteed. Even if the eagle eats you, you are still going to survive. And that's what I was saying earlier with Sage. We are the light workers. We are the ones who were eaten by eagles in the past. And so we have this unconscious, we've never been able to explain it. We don't know why we feel this way or why we see things the way we do. We just do. And it's because we have been the rabbits that were eaten by the owls or the eagles, either one, in the past life. And so we're here now to apply all of that experience and wisdom to change the world now and to make it open the door for all those who come after us. Whew. So I hope that makes sense. I love you, and I hope that helps. All right. And for those who don't know, Valerie is my partner. We are in a romantic relationship. So there. All right. Card number 3 for Nancy. Sage, I want to remind you too, I think you already paid for a reading for Nancy. I just wanted to remind you that because I think you paid one for her a long time ago. And I know it's been longer than that since I've seen her. So just to remind you, and let you know that I still remember that. So, all right. You're welcome, Valerie. I love you. Everything's going to be okay. I promise. All right. Let's see. Okay, Nancy. Okay, good, yeah. I miss her. I love when she comes in. We always have a good time when we get together. So Nancy, the card that came up for you is Weasel in reverse. So it's like we're doing this progression because this is like very similar to what I was telling Valerie, and that how do I put it? Weasel is about intuition and like it really dovetails with all the other things I've said tonight. And excuse me. It's about trusting your intuition. In reverse, Weasel can be being overwhelmed. There's too many moving parts. And it's like not seeing the forest for the trees. It's like there's too many trees in the way. Where I don't see the forest, and it's like focusing on the individual parts rather than the overall machinery. And it comes down to remembering that when you 4th of July starting sooner, when you live from your heart, it's not like I mentioned before, like Sandra Ingerman says, it's not what you do, but who you become that changes the world. It's not about your actions. It's about alignment. It's about becoming the eye of the storm, letting the storm rage around you because you are the calm center, and your calmness goes out and calms the storm. Because if you're out there in the storm trying to fit things together or save things or rearrange things, all you're doing is rearranging boxes. You're not really changing anything. And you're just getting more and more stressed out, running in circles more and more and more. But that's a sign of working from the mind rather than the heart, because the mind separates. The mind's job is to see the distinction, to separate things, to see the contradiction in things, to see the individual parts. And your heart sees the unity of all things, the inclusivity of everything. And so, because of our society and the way we've been, it's like, I think, therefore I am, right? We can blame it on Descartes, putting Descartes before the horse, haha, the horse before Descartes. We think that thought, that logic, is the ultimate thing. But it's not. Like they say, the mind is a wonderful servant and a terrible leader. If we're living from our brain, we're trying to figure out things, trying to figure out where we belong or what's the right thing to do, you're never going to get there because the mind is constantly dividing things and constantly separating things. So you're never going to get a whole, what's the word? You're never going to have the whole picture if you're using your brain. Your brain will always find something else, always find a conflict, always find something else to challenge you. Whereas when you align yourself and you work from the heart, your heart sees like rabbit looking through eagle's eyes, floating above the earth, seeing that big perspective. Your heart has that perspective. Your heart is what connects you to Creator. Your heart is what connects you to all living things, to the entire human race. So your heart takes all of that into consideration when it gives you an intuitive nudge one way or the other way, or when you get that feeling, I need to go to the store, or I need to go to the beach, or whatever. And you find out when you start listening to that things unfold, that miracles happen beyond, there's no logical way to explain them, right? I remember one time I was going down to the river, as I do very often, daily if I can manage it. And I have a couple of different spots that I go to. There's one that's kind of a little more public, and there's one spot where if I really want solitude, that's where I go. And for some reason that day I just felt very strongly that I wanted to go to the one that's a little more public. So I did, and I'm sitting there and I'm doing my pipe ceremony, I'm meditating, I'm doing shamanic journey. All of a sudden, this couple comes down, this grown man and woman, husband and wife, and the wife is wailing. The wife is just keening, like wailing, like bawling, and the man is trying to calm her, but he's all frizzed out as well, all freaked out, and trying to hold himself together. And I'm sitting here watching this, and so I just approached them. I said, is there something I can do to help? And I was able to say, I'm a shaman. I have skills, I have tools. Is there something I can do to help you? And I was able to talk to them both. And I found out that their son had just committed suicide. And that was no coincidence that they ended up on the same beach on the river as I was. I couldn't have guessed that. I wouldn't have known that. I just had that urge that I'm going to go to that location. And because I followed that, I was able to help someone who desperately needed it. I was in the right place at the right time to be able to bring words of comfort, to be able to bring perspective, to be able to bring some energy healing to help them regain their composure and ease their pain and hold space for them while they grieved. There was no logical reason for me to go down there. There was no logical reason for them to go down there. I've been going there for years, and I'd never seen them before. So when we get out of our own way, miracles happen, and things come together. And your heart, this is the thing with weasel medicine. Weasel in reverse thinks that, how do I put this? Your heart already knows all of the permutations, all of the choices, all of the results, knows the entire play field, right? And so you can stay where you are and trust your heart. Okay, my heart tells me to turn left. Or my heart tells me to go sit under that tree. It doesn't make sense, but when you can trust it, things happen, things flow, things unfold. But if you're standing there and your hamster wheel is going and you're second guessing yourself, trying to figure out what's the right thing to do, what should I be doing, you're spinning your wheels and you're trying to be in every place at the same time, thinking you have to cover that whole area yourself physically, that you have to put in the footwork, that you have to put in the effort to get results. When it's the opposite, you will get better results by surrendering control, by, like even in the Bible, Jesus says, seek ye first the kingdom, right? And then he says the kingdom of heaven is within. This is the kingdom of heaven. This is your authority. This is what will guide you and lead you, right? This tells you where to go, what direction to move in. This tells you how to navigate that, how to not walk into walls, how to tell the difference between a door and a wall, how to tell the difference between the field and a tree, so that you follow the directions of the heart. It will guide you easily and effortlessly everywhere you need to go. So again, the message is stand down. Like a meme I saw a while back, relax. Nothing is under control. You can trust the wild unfolding of the universe, right? There's an affirmation I use. It's like the universe unfolds in perfect harmony, so I can let go because she takes care of me. We don't have the bandwidth to see all the moving parts and figure out how they all fit together. That's the divine's job. That's why when you're manifesting something, you don't hold on to the way something needs to, like what the end result looks like. You set that intention in place. You focus on what is the feeling that you want to experience. and then the universe fills in the details, because the universe has all of the data, all of the possibilities, all the synchronicities that need to happen that you can't logistically figure out yourself. So let go, surrender. Again, like everyone else tonight, you are safe. You are held. There's nothing to be afraid of. And like my other favorite affirmation, everything is always working out for me. That's it. Everything is always working out for me. When you can walk through the world with that thought, it's amazing how much that helps. It's just, instead of closing your mind and looking for more problems, it's like it opens you up to the possibilities. It opens you up to receive the blessings and the solutions, etc. The miracles. You need to leave room for the miracles. Okay? So I hope that is helpful. I hope that makes sense to you. Hoofda. All right, so card number 4 for Emerald. I'm kind of glad that it's like, maybe I should just start doing like 4 cards rather than 6, because I can actually spend 15 minutes to a half hour per card. I might have to start doing that. If you're watching this and you have an opinion on that, let me know. How would you feel if I went to 4 cards rather than 6 cards? I know not everyone would get their individual thing that way, but there also would be more space in the talking for other messages to kind of weave in. So, I am loquacious, I know. Okay, Emerald, card number 4. And that is going to be our last individual card for the evening. Boom. All right, Emerald, as you just saw, as I was that's true. Keep it at 6, because I know. And I always feel bad when like the 7th or 8th person shows up. I was like, I'm sorry. I wish I could just do this like all night long. So Emerald, 2 cards jumped out. They're both birds. They're both in reverse. Yeah, when there's fewer people, I can sometimes get done by 9. That didn't happen tonight because I am loquacious. So Emerald, you've got Crow in reverse and Grouse in reverse. And you heard the boom, which is interesting, because if there were such a thing as a Thunderbird, oh, hi, Valerie. Yes, of course you can. Yeah, I will put you on the list. I will pull you a card after Emerald. So you heard the boom, the thunder, and grouse actually, they drum. They when they beat their wings, they create the same phenomenon as thunder. You're welcome, Valerie. Other Valerie. We had 2 Valeries tonight. They create, like they beat their drums in a way that they create a vacuum, And then just like how like lightning superheats the air and it expands and then it slams back together and you get thunder, grouse creates this vacuum in the air and then boom, the air bangs back together. And it's not so much audible as it is palpable. Like you can feel it, right? And so, you know what this is? Sometimes I remember cards from the past and sometimes I don't. I don't remember exactly what the card was, but I kind of remember the gist of it and how you were like, ah, right? At the top, and I think this is entering your next rite of passage stage, the next initiation, especially with Crow here in reverse. It's like, that can be shadow work, right? In the picture, it's like, well, what Crow's looking at is shadow in the puddle, but which one is really him and which one's his shadow, right? So it's like you leveled up, now you're on this whole new level, you have all these skills, all this wisdom, and that's just the baseline of where you have to start on this level now. And now you need to build up your discernment of who you are here, of what you can do, how you can apply past wisdom and skills in garnering new wisdom and skills. And Grouse is the Thunderbird, the one that creates like the heartbeat. And so don't be disheartened by what's going on around you, by what's going on within you. Despite what things may look and feel like, things are getting better. You are getting stronger. I saw this post a while back that really struck me, and it was something about in order to manifest or to achieve one thing, you have to be satisfied to experience its opposite. Like, if you're wanting more friends, more social interaction, you have to spend the time isolated and alone in order to get to know yourself better so that you can be better socially, right? In order to build abundance, you may have to put yourself on a budget. And so it feels like you're poor, like you can't do anything, like you're strapped, but you're actually building abundance. And it's that kind of sense that, like the quote from the movie Evan Almighty, when Morgan Freeman, who plays God, is talking to Evan's wife in the bar. The wife says that she keeps praying for courage. And Morgan Freeman, as God, says, when you pray to God for courage, he doesn't give you courage. He gives you the opportunity to be courageous. So it's kind of like that quote from Mother Teresa where she's like, I know God will never give me anything I can't handle. I just wish he didn't trust me so much, right? So know that everything, you haven't stepped off your path. Everything is still according to plan. And just listen for your heartbeat. Follow your heart. That is your rhythm. That is your flow. You create the thunder. You create the rhythm to live by, not the other way around. Oh wow, seriously? Something exploded in your world as you knew it fell apart, and you're rebuilding yourself. That's exactly what this is. And it's like, let your heart be, like I've been on a number of vision quests, right? And sometimes the people that I do the vision quest with will bring their mother drum. Like they have a base camp, and then we spread out and find our individual places in the woods to sit for 3 days by ourselves. And sometimes they bring their mother drum, like, the great big drum, like the kind that they use at powwows and such. And so on the occasions that they bring their mother drum, it's like someone in the base camp will just start drumming. And it's like you hear that beat, and all of a sudden it feels like, okay, I still have purpose. I'm still alive. I can hear the heartbeat of the mother. Mother, I feel you under my feet. Mother, I feel your heartbeat. Right? And that's the other thing with grouse. Grouse is about the spiral dance. When they do their dance, they dance in a spiral. And the spiral is, it's perhaps the oldest sacred symbol we have. And it's everything in the universe exists in a spiral. Like the what is it called? Fibonacci? I always forget that word because it's so close to there's that other word in Star Trek about it's interesting. I should think I might play with that sometime. Like the golden mean, that spiral, right? Fibonacci? I think that's what it is. In Star Trek, there's that it's like the unwinnable situation, but Kirk got in and changed the parameters by changing the computer program, so he won. Fibonacci, that's what I thought. Okay, thank you. Thanks, Sage. Anyway, and so everything exists in that sacred spiral, from the biggest super galaxies down to, hurricanes and thunderstorms, down to flowers and shells, down to our DNA, right? And I just found out, I just heard someplace that, we picture like our blood going through our veins, right? We picture it flowing like a river, but someone said that it actually spirals through your veins. The blood spirals. And I just thought, whoa, that's so cool. So this is about that heartbeat that is your unique heartbeat in the complete orchestra that is the universe, right? And so the spiral is what connects you to all things, but you also have the unique frequency, the unique instrument to play, the unique part to play in that orchestra that brings harmony to the overall picture, if that makes sense. And so it's really about celebrating yourself, celebrating your uniqueness, your own heartbeat, and what that brings to the world, to the universe. And again, like I was saying with Valerie, don't be afraid of the dark. The shadow, light is born from the shadow, right? The darkness existed before the light did. The darkness, like I said, is the divine feminine. It's pure potential. Every possible world and reality exists in that darkness. And then you're the one who goes into that darkness. And, Crow, like Raven is the fire bringer. Raven is the one who stole fire from the sun to bring into this world so we could see. And so, you're going into the shadow, you're going into the dark to play with the possibility and the potential of things before deciding which of those you're going to bring into the light of day, into manifestation in the physical world. And trust your heartbeat. Make thunder. It's kind of like what you were just saying, something in your life exploded and there was that big boom when I pulled these cards. It's kind of like the tower moment, right? That lightning strike and the tower explodes. But the one thing, I'm not an expert on the tarot. I don't know all the things about it. But I had a tarot reading one time with someone, and the tower card came up. And this reader was the first one who pointed out to me that we focus on the tower and it's falling apart and these people falling out of it. But underneath the tower is water. And the water is carrying the tower to where it needs to be. And so in the destruction of the tower, that explosion, it's making room and taking you where you need to go next. Bringing you to the new space to build your new castle, your new life, your new world, where you are the center of it. Okay? Whew. All right. I hope that is helpful. Oh, good. It always brings a little bit of joy to my heart when people are like, that totally resonates, because I have no clue, right? And so thank you for the validation. Thank you for, I just want to be helpful. We can be independent together. I don't know where that came from. Well, I know where it came from, but. All right, Valerie. The other Valerie, second Valerie. Trying to see what. Schuler, Valerie Schuler. I hope that's how you say your name. Valerie. All right, so card number 5. For Valerie S. How's that? Whoops, I just knocked the. There we go. Okay. Haha. All right, Valerie. Oh, cool. I love the Pennsylvania Dutch. I love the artwork. My mom used to be crazy. We went to Pennsylvania when I was little. And I got to visit Daniel Boone's birthplace. Yay! But anyway, so it was Amish country and there's all this Pennsylvania Dutch stuff. And my mom came home after that trip and she actually painted this huge Pennsylvania Dutch thing on our garage door. Like had the two quail or partridges on either side, and it had it's beautiful. So cool. All right. Well, thank you and welcome. And the card I pulled for you is Armadillo. So Armadillo, of course, is about boundaries. And, it's about, again, like everyone else's thing tonight, pretty much, that trusting that you're protected. Trusting that the universe literally has your back, right? And it's and I always see a similarity between armadillo and porcupine because they're both about how you are naturally protected, how your innocence and authenticity is your protection. That your protection grows out of you rather than being something you put on, like armor or shielding. It just naturally comes out of you. Like with armadillo, the armor is just a higher frequency of hair, right? Just like when you're living from your heart, when you're in alignment, you emit that energy pattern of higher frequency. So there's a higher frequency, a higher density of light around you that keeps anything of a lower frequency from getting in. And so it's kind of the same thing with armadillo. And it's that high frequency solidity that allows the soft underbelly to thrive, right? It's a both and. And so, and the armor is organic. It's not, like I said, like armor you put on or shielding you put on actually lowers your vibration. If you're protecting yourself from something else, if you're putting a barrier or energy between you and it, you're actually dimming your light. You're dimming your vibration because it's not of you. And it, just as it's blocking that other thing, it blocks you as well. And so this is when you can come from your heart. Like Kyle C says, an open heart is the best protection. Because when your heart is open, that's when you're vibing higher. That's how you raise your frequency, is by surrendering, by opening your heart. And then you're just protected because of who you are, not because of what you do. And so you are naturally protected. And the fact that it came up right side up speaks to the fact that you probably realize, or you at least notice and acknowledge the things that you might call luck, that you might think you're just lucky, that things just kind of work out for you. It's not just by chance. It's because of who you are. You do live a charmed life, and it's because of who you are that those things work the way they do. And because of that, because you know that everything always works out, like the affirmation I just mentioned a little bit ago, because you know you are safe, you know you're protected, you know everything works out. Like armadillo, who knows that he can roll up in a ball at any moment and be safe, that allows him the courage to go further into the unknown, to go further outside the comfort zones, to explore and to find out new things. So, and with armadillo showing up, it tells me that you are not someone who can settle for surface information or small talk. You always have to dig under and find out what's underneath things. And so knowing that you have that protection affords you that courage to be able to delve into things without having to worry about being attacked. And it's that inborn curiosity of yours that is your superpower. It's that wonderment, that wondering, well, how does this work? and wait, what's behind that, or how do those work together? What's, digging underneath, getting to the ground, like the roots of things. And it's that curiosity that actually is the protector. It's kind of like the, what's that? There's a proverb or a saying about how, fate looks out for fools and something. And ships named Enterprise, I heard Jonathan Frakes say one time. But it's really, and it's similar to the Fool card, right? That stepping off into space, all happy, knowing that you're safe, that nothing harmful can befall you. And you're also not defenseless, right? I mean, look at the claws on their feet. Not only do they burrow, they also can tear apart. They eat termites. They can tear apart termite mounds. That's how strong they are. That's how sharp their claws are. And so there's really nothing capable of taking you down. So, in other words, the message is to follow your joy. Like Joseph Campbell said, follow your bliss. Know that when you go toward those things that bring you joy, that is the universe's compass for you, telling you which way to go, what to do. And when you follow those things, do those things that bring you joy, that becomes your shield. Joy is the sign that you're raising your frequency, that you're vibing at a higher level. And when you raise your frequency, it's like anything down here can't even touch you. You're immune to it. You're invisible to it. So just focus on your heart. What brings your heart joy? And know that the universe will clear the path for you in order to find and to manifest those joys. That you have the passions and the desires that you have because that is the direction you are meant to go in. And the universe will do everything it can to support you in that path. When you follow the joy, that's when the synchronicities happen. That's when anything conflictive will fall away. Literally, the universe will dig a path for you. And so, my guides are saying, geek out about whatever you want to geek out about. Geek out to the nth position, degree. That's what, don't stop, keep going. Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. Street light people. Oh. Keep going. You are safe. You are protected. You are loved. Think of, like I was saying earlier about those like thunder jackets or whatever that they put on dogs, or those weighted blankets that help people feel more calm. You already have that. The universe is holding you, keeping you safe. And it's not like a solid in place thing. It's like, just like the armor, this is hair. It's organic, so it is flexible and it breathes. It's not restricting you. It actually helps to focus you. So keep going. Keep going. And always move toward joy. Don't put off the fun things or the joyful things until you have everything else figured out. Because by doing the joyful things, you'll have the other things you need to do will come more easily, or they'll just not be there anymore, and you won't have to do them. Like I mentioned Kyle Cease earlier, and he went through a period where he was meditating for like 2 hours a day. And he was like, every day he would sit down, and right away his mind's like, why am I doing this? This is stupid. You can't do this. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. You got this you need to do, and you need to call that person, and you need to put in that application. You need to do this, and you need to do that. Why are you just sitting here? And once he got through that and got into the relaxation, into the beingness of it, he would come out of his meditation and realize none of those things that he was thinking of before needed to be done. That he could do without them, that they didn't apply to him anymore. So believe in yourself, believe in the universe that loves you, and know that, like Einstein said, the greatest decision you'll ever make is whether you live in a friendly universe or a hostile one. And the universe is a friendly universe. The universe has your back. Everything that happens is a step closer to you coming home. All right? So, I hope that is helpful. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm going to pull one more card for the community. And when I am shuffling, I want to remind you that this video is free. But if you did receive something and you want to reciprocate, or you just want to support your friendly neighborhood shaman, I have my PayPal and my Venmo links pinned to the top of the comments. And anything you wish to give me is so appreciated. I can't even tell you how much I appreciate you. And also you can help me out by sharing this video, by tagging people in the comments, sending it far and wide. And when we are finally done here, if I don't get too much more loquacious, I am going to share this video to my Facebook page so that you can watch it again if you need to. Or later on in the week, you need a little more guidance, you can choose a different card number, see what I said, and see how that fits with what you need to know. And I will also upload it to my Perching Wolf Studios YouTube channel. So please check that out. Please subscribe and like my videos. Please like me. That helps me out as well. It helps other people find me, apparently. I don't know how all that kind of stuff works, but it does help me out. It helps other people find me, helps to spread my voice. And then if you enjoy my readings and you would like to know more about me, or set up a personal one-on-one reading, full reading, or a healing, or I also mentor people, I have classes, etc. You can check that all out on my website, perchingwolfstudios.net. And you can sign up for a session with me right there. Because my job as a shaman is to support my community, who supports me. It's this reciprocity that is so beautiful, and I am so grateful for. And speaking of that, this is my full-time job, and business has been a little bit slow this month, and my rent is due. So I am going to, I haven't put this out anywhere yet. You're the first to know. I'm going to do another one of my open donation shamanathons on Thursday, probably 6 to 8. I think 2 hours is my limit. But what that is, similar to this, but anyone who donates, you can donate beforehand, you can donate on the spot, you can use my links. Anyone who donates any amount, it can be $1, $100, whatever you wish, you will get your choice of either a reading, a healing, or a teaching. Either a 3-card reading, or a 5-minute healing, energy healing, or a teaching where if you have a question, maybe it's not something that you need to have answered with the cards, but you have a nagging question about spirituality, about shamanism or whatever, you can ask me anything and I will do my best to answer. So that will be Thursday, 6 to 8. You know, avoid the crowds and pledge early. But I always enjoy it. It's a little more laid back. I do it rather than here in my little office space in my apartment. I do it out in my living room, just hanging out, just chatting, and so that it's a win-win. I don't like asking for money. I don't like asking for that kind of support. And so I realized I have skills and I have things to give. And so rather than asking for help, asking for that support, I would prefer it to be more reciprocal. So that's why I do that. And so I hope you join me. And thank you in advance for anything you wish to donate. Thank you for helping to keep a roof over Kira's head. So, all right, one more card. I think that's all the announcements for now. And, all right, so one more card for the community, whether you've got a personal card or not. And that card is Coyote in reverse. Don't take things too seriously. Coyote, when Coyote's in reverse, it means Coyote's nipping at your heels, but it's not mean-spirited. It's not trickster, like he's trying to trick you into giving him your firstborn child or anything like that. It's, you're taking things too seriously. Come on, let's play. He'll trip you up, not to humiliate you, not to make you eat crow, but to get you to to break the spell of our routine and all the troubles and the things that we keep focusing on, to remember that this world is meant to be a joyful place. We came here to play. And so enjoy yourself. Like I was at the river yesterday, and there were these two men there. They were American citizens, but they were originally from Afghanistan. And the one guy, he had been drinking a little bit, but he kept saying, just, how did he put it? It's like, enjoy yourself now. Live for today. No one's guaranteed tomorrow. You've got to live for today. You've got to enjoy yourself, right? You never know. Life is short. That's what he kept saying. Life is short. Enjoy yourself. And it was amazing because he was a little tipsy, but I was there with my pipe and my drum, and he's like, play something. So I'm drumming, and he started dancing, and he was like dancing backwards into the river till he was up to his chest in water, and he's still dancing to my drum. And then he was like, I want to share a song with you. And it was a song from India. I had no clue what he was singing, but he stood in front of me and sang this song. And it's like, come on, let's play. Life is too short. We need to enjoy it. We need to find the enjoyment and the fun. And like Dr. Wayne Dyer always said, there is no way to happiness. Happiness is the way. Because when you can find that joy, when you do those things that are joyful, that make you playful, that's how we raise our frequency. That, bringing this back full circle, that's how we bring the light into this world. And when you're vibing higher, like Rabbit looking out of Eagle's eyes, you see so many more possibilities and opportunities open before you. Like Joseph Campbell would say, like when you follow your dreams, the world opens doors where before there were only walls. And so do not lose hope. Keep going. Know that there is always a solution. That that joy and love is the essence of life. It is what life is based on. Anything else is surface. We just have to we can't control anything anyone else does. Like I said, relax. Nothing is under control. But by aligning ourselves, by taking those courageous steps forward to heal ourselves, you have no idea of the global permutations of that, how it ripples out and raises the entire world and creates more hope, right? It's like you can either add to the ugliness and the hate and the fear of the world, or you can be a source of joy and light and love. The world is ugly enough as it is. Don't add to the ugliness. Be the presence of divine light, love, and hope. Okay? So, all right. It's time we're approaching a 2-hour mark. Holy crap. But I thank you so much for joining me. I so enjoy these times, and I appreciate each and every one of you, the energy you bring to this. It's like, if you weren't here, this wouldn't happen, because it's your presence that calls forth the cards that come forth, and that's what calls forth whatever stream of words come flowing out of my mouth, right? So without you, this wouldn't happen. So thank you. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for your support. Thank you for joining me, bringing your energy and your love and your presence. And I hope you come again next week. Bring your family, bring your friends, invite others to come and join us. And know that until I see you again, that I love you, that I see you, and that I honor you. Have a wonderful week and go shining. All right. Bye.